says that it's the disconnect protection.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what had happened was, thanks for holding out those that did. What had happened is the whole stream exploded, and we're back. So I'll just tether these two videos
Yay!
together in the archives. Cool. Where did I leave off?
We were
Uh,
in the keep.
Yes.
I've just been told what's happening and asked for permission to allow Daddy back into the house.
Correct.
Um, so essentially, she would pause for a moment and then, like, obviously, the gravity of the situation, she would be like, it would be foolish to say no in this situation.
Okay. If that's the case,
Permission granted.
if that's the case, Moirax, you quickly report to those at the temple so that they can come. And as they are arriving, I'm assuming you give Evangeline the entire spiel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As while they're on, I would step down out of the way, just give them a call, and then while they're on their way, just give her the situation.
So everything you've been listening to this whole time is what is kind of just lore dumped on you at this moment. And then once Roman arrives, do you do this in earshot of the abbess?
Ooh. I would ask and say, would you rather? Would you like to step aside in her head? Would you like to step aside and I could tell you the situation, or just give it to you in front of the abbess?
Considering the situation, I believe she should be aware.
Okay.
So
Then
once you kind of concluded that it's about that time that Roman arrives, and kind of is informed, blurry, is informed that you've already kind of made the abbess aware of everything, and Roman adds nothing. There's nothing that's kind of in addition to. There's no kind of differentiation from his assessment. It's very short, and she kind of seems to be kind of yes, like explaining that's what he has already said. And Roman kind of nods to you, and likewise. But now the two leaders of the town and monastery are informed of what's happening. The abbess looks to you. We have a couple of options here, Lady Wellbeing. We can move carefully around this and find out who it is that did this, put them to task, and make sure that they are ready to be received by those who will doubtless come seeking their messenger. Or we can roll with it and actually just put them back on display. Or if you have any other ideas, I'm more than willing to hear them, as it's very much my opinion at this point. My care is in your hands.
Both are valid options. I feel that this could be used to our advantage at some point, but it would be wise to find out who is trying to instigate a conflict. There's certainly a third party. If we did not kill them, then who?
Based on your captain's report, it does sound like he has an inkling.
Yes.
How quickly can you find this culprit, Captain Moirax?
Fortunately, he's not an easy one to find. I'll do everything within my force's power to locate him, but I've been passively looking for this fella for years. And only in the past couple days has he really started to come up.
Well,
What is this individual's name?
They call themselves Dusk.
This is the leader of one of the two bandit groups, is it not?
Yeah,
Raleigh
leader of
nods to confirm and says exactly what you're about to say in simultaneous, like you both say it at the same time. Setting suns.
the Saiyan Sons.
She kind of.
They call themselves the Rising Suns now? No.
Do you
I'm
mention
not
that?
even- I'm not there.
Why wouldn't you be? They all left the church. Like, it's probably.
I'm saying that the
Okay.
rites took a while and
Oh.
Summer's annoyed.
That makes
She was
sense.
drinking with her husband.
Get out of here. I'm trying to do this. Absolutely. Okay.
She was like, "You want some tea?"
More than fair. More than fair. Okay. Go ahead.
what would be the motivation for this group or this individual to, I guess, either instigate or implicate this town with this action?
Well, there were those folks part of the. Well, that one fell from the knives below.
Yeah.
He did tell us that there's supposedly some kind of ancient dragon horde underneath the town. They could be fighting for that, and maybe Dusk is trying to just make the town tear itself apart or incite something to tear us to the ground so they can come in and get this legendary horde without us stopping them.
Okay.
Could also be that maybe Dusk lost somebody in the sacking of the capital city, which is Entolas or Empolus. Is that right?
Yes.
Antilles.
Antilus is the name of the capital.
Yes, maybe they had lost somebody, and so now they want to start a war. I don't know.
I don't think they feel love towards anyone.
So mean.
Yeah, that is pretty mean. But it may be true. I don't know. I'm just saying there are other
Well,
options that are possible.
out of character, like, we had nothing to do with the sacking, correct?
No.
Like,
no,
we didn't supply any soldiers. We didn't, like, nothing.
No, definitely not.
So, back in character, even if they did lose someone, why would that bring them here? There has to be a deeper reason as to why they would make such a public display with the intent of incriminating us and instigating an attack
In my younger days,
on this day.
in my younger days, I've had some run-ins with them. We can go more into that at a later time, but I think could be chasing after me. We did have that note over in Bjorken's basement. It says that they found us or something like that. Found you, as the note said.
Well, and they also y'all would have told her that there was someone who pretended to be the guard captain that took the mounts, right?
I would have told you everything that I
Okay, that you knew. Okay, so that's very personal. That could track, especially because they used. Well, I mean, that's a way to get out of town without questions asked, but could also be personal. Mm,
Drummond interjects. I have an inquiry. Looking to Evangeline kind of like, almost as if he's walking on eggshells, he then kind of looks to Moirax and says, "You are familiar with these individuals. Are there any in their number that you know that are not shapeshifters?"
I'm afraid that last I knew of them, they are pretty much all wiped out, save for their leader, who is this doppelganger.
No one who would be loyal to this Dusk that you would know who would be still associating with them.
I gotta look through my notes.
That's all we've been doing all night. No, you check your notes.
Yep.
No,
No,
you.
you.
I
I only know of one.
And this individual is not a shape changer. You're certain.
I believe she is.
Not a shape changer.
Is the shapeshifter.
Wait, this is out of character. I want to make sure we're talking about the same person. Is this the tiefling?
Yeah.
Not a shape changer.
Oh, really?
Shape change or tieflings aren't shape changers.
Yeah, no.
Where is blah 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 blah.
Unless that's a new thing.
Delilah.
I have this written down. Bloodline of Glacia, unless that's not a thing in this world.
Yeah, it's not a thing in this world, but
Then never mind. I didn't say that.
it's there's similar tiefling bloodlines. Double checking.
If that's not a thing, then I didn't mention it.
Yeah, these demons are not they're not real. In this Glacia is very much focused on kind of like Faerun.
Okay.
And that's fine. There is an equivalent though. So Glacia would be related to deception. So it would be the Demon Prince of Deception, Vyze Desteshanen. Or just Vyze, V-Y-Z. And I would say that the ability to cast Disguise Self on oneself is not a shape changer.
Okay.
It's an
okay.
illusion. You would know the difference. But yeah, so after you confirm that she's not a shape changer, Roman would say to the abbess, perhaps with assistance from the Fount, you might be able to locate her. And then we could perhaps have these move upon her. The abbess. An interesting suggestion, knight. And one that I think might work indeed. By this time, you realize that the party is kind of weird.
And I'm the party pooper.
Everybody's kind of circled around the abbess and the lady up on the dais, and they're just having this conversation. Some people are trying to like move over and kind of lean in, but the knights who are present are kind of like blocked.
And no.
The abbess says, Lady Bovine, would you be interested in ascending Mount Urmorag with me at dawn tomorrow? You and your council?
Yes. That is something we can do.
With the assistance of your captain, I think we can locate his friend. And once that's been done, I will assign a handful of knights to your captain to aid in the detainment of this Dusk. However, regarding the bodies, as I understand it from your recanting, they are currently at the Temple of Life, being made to right. The Denisotvan do not worship the Warring Triumvirate. Instead, they worship an ancient deity known as Atma, a mysterious god, to be sure. I know nothing more than minor details regarding their cult, and I have been wishing to attain more knowledge regarding it so that I can better understand how they pull from the White Winds. Huh. A matter for a later time. I do appreciate your priestess's diligence in her duties in Holy Rite, but unfortunately it does force our hand in a regard. It is doubtful that the ceremony of last rites will be beneficial in what they will want to do with the corpse in the interim. So we might as well have put them back on the gallows. I will allow for her to decide, or you to decide, what is to happen with these bodies. I do not care past that point. Just to warn you that returning them to the Denisothans may prove as detrimental as it would have been to just leave them where you found them.
Noted. I'll confer with the priestess, see what she has to say.
I will leave you to it. I am going to speak to your gathered here, just so they do not misapprehend my retiring early. I do have some matters to consider, and I would like to do so with my trusted counsel, as I'm sure you would like to.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind, I would have my cellarer bring an amount of food that I think would be necessary to at least partake in a decent supper.
Yes, of course.
The abbess stands and says, "There has been troubling news that will be brought forward to you, good people of Gateneath, by your matriarch, when the time is ready for her to do so. Know this: the devout of Ermorag, the faithful and vigilant of Gateneath, stand together united, as displayed by our presence here, and also by our unity in the events that have happened today. We hope that when the time comes, all present will be blessed by the light of Atavius, and will be guided with the vigor of Alowain in all that they do. Thank you for having me as your guest, Lady Biovine. And thank you, Entourage, for being pleasant hosts as well." She steps down. A couple of the guildmasters kind of clap, not sure what's going on. You can see Rilka is basically falling asleep as she seems to have been bored to death by Espen's talking.
Poor Espen.
Bindle
Espen succeeded.
They're in their prime. That's what they love to do.
Bindle
Put
taps
people to sleep.
taps Casey on the shoulder and
Fair
says,
enough.
Mr. Casey, sir, or Mayor Casey, where's my wife?" This is
Sorry?
this is Bindle Nalric, the husband of Summer Nalric.
Oh no, it's Summer's husband.
He just was left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just- yeah.
She went, situation.
Bye.
And he was just like, Oh.
Okay.
She'll
Well,
be back.
I'm not gonna leave. This is really good.
You know, honestly, she respects that, and that's why they're together.
Yes, of course. Sorry.
He ate her
I
portion.
believe Summer's gotten distracted with tasks requiring her attention at the temple, and has gone back to perform necessary work. But you're
Oh.
welcome to stay here and continue with the meal until we've been dismissed.
Oh, that's fine. And you see him just start pushing the plate contents into a bag he had on his belt. And then he kind of just sets the plate
Nice.
aside, latches the bag to his belt.
Love a resourceful king.
And before he latches it, Casey will push the plate that was put in front of Casey because Casey can't eat over without saying anything. Yeah.
You're most gracious. And he kind of wanders up.
I have children to feed.
they don't eat anyway.
Morax, Mikhail, Casey, Dahabe is also present. Evangeline, you kind of start working through the process, which is going to be a bit of a process of kind of terminating the party. Is there any kind of bold announcements you want to make, or do you just want it to be kind of a subtle kind of like get the fuck out?
I think it would be more of like a subtle, like,
Thank you for coming.
thank you so much for coming, and
People stand
know-
up to go to the bathroom. You flip their chairs onto the table, so they have
yeah.
Take the hint.
Like we're closing the bar for the night.
Take the hint.
The song closing time starts playing.
Yeah.
Can't stay here. It's not that late. It's like mid-afternoon. It
Yeah.
definitely was supposed to go through the evening, so people are definitely a bit confused. But nevertheless will migrate if they are kind of displaced in this way.
I mean, I would imagine like the food is already in the process of being made as well. So like she would offer that, if they would like to partake in that food, they're more than welcome
To stay.
to return, like to stay or like return later or whatever.
Okay. You can certainly,
but-
you can certainly stay down here, but obviously this isn't normally where you seat council. So you could probably say, you guys can stay here and do the partying if you want to be
Yeah.
benevolent, and then just remove yourself.
Yeah, I feel like she would continue because like she doesn't want to like remove that from the people. Like they're looking forward to it. They've prepared for it. They're
Okay.
gonna
So more,
still enjoy it.
Money's
more-
already been spent.
yeah, more.
Yeah.
Roast's already been roasted.
It's exactly. She's like, I'm not gonna waste this. Like, have fun.
Okay. When you kind of address people in this way, this kind of one-on-one way, some of them are kind of asking questions, and I assume that you kind of maneuver it to kind of, assuredness.
Yeah.
But like, you're not wanting to stress them out, but make
Yeah.
sure that you are very busy due to what the abbess had mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be kind of like I have a matter to attend, but like she would present it in a fact where it's not serious enough that everything has to stop.
There's no threat to the town, but there's
Yeah,
a
there's no
matter you
threat to
need
the town,
address.
so you guys have your fun. I'll go deal with what I need to deal with. You're good.
Okay. Cool. And then you meet with your company. Do you want to return anyone who is not currently present to your presence?
Well, if Mr. Bindle is heading out, she would ask that he let Summer know that she would be needed.
Okay.
She'd come back eventually.
Yeah. Well, and Evangeline would make sure that everyone that was out running around had food
Okay.
made available to them. So,
And then you meet with your company.
Yeah.
Once everyone's assembled, feel free to discuss.
Avengers assemble! Okay, so now we're in private.
Mm.
Mhm.
What the fuck? What is going on? Like she's just like, okay, can I be a kid now? Like, what is this? Oh my god.
Basically, we got a gang leader slash possibly serial killer who can make themselves look like other people.
Like you.
Yeah, read minds, harassing us.
This isn't harassment. They're trying to incite a war.
That too.
Wouldn't be the first time. Does anybody have any idea what we're going to be doing at Ermerag tomorrow? Like, what?
It sounded like some sort of magical or like spell to figure out where somebody is what it sounded like to me, my lady.
Okay. So, like, scrying, stuff like that. Okay.
I do want to bring up one thing just to kind of play devil's advocate, but I just think it's very strange how the abbess from Ir Marag came down, and the first thing she said was, basically she, did not like the Dennis Atvens and, that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden we have them hung
dead and
in our gallows. Now I don't think they're connected because I don't think the abbess would do that, but it is very strange that happened.
But what if the abbess isn't the abbess?
Oh my god.
Good point.
I'm kidding.
It could be. You're right. It could be. Or maybe. It's
Well, how would we?
When did those folks say that? When those folks say that they saw me taking those mounts away from the stables? What time?
Last night.
Last night. The abbess, or when the abbess arrived this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So the fake me and oh wait, no. They've never been in the same room together.
well,
that we know of.
Well, I haven't seen you in the same room
Yeah.
as you before.
I mean, it could just be a coincidence. Like maybe Dusk is trying to get like us to not trust the abbess, but I did want to point it out because it was something that was very obvious to me that was strange. That I mean, I don't really think I just think we should, I guess, keep our eyes on everybody and make sure everybody who's who they say they are. Just be weary and wary.
Well, how would you? Is there a way to make a doppelganger show their true nature?
I think if you kill them.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Another effective strategy. Can confirm.
Yes, you could
Good
confirm.
ask.
But I mean, apart from having two of the same person in a room, how do you tell?
There is
It-
magics that could accomplish this task, my lady. Though I don't know them, but
I think he can sort of like, they can sort of like read your thoughts, so like they'll know like how to act like you. So I don't know, maybe ask him to do something that is like some skill or magic ability.
Okay.
If it's one of us in your council, we do have that safe word that we came up with a couple sessions ago. I say not in character. I could tell you guys
Okay.
what it is, but
I know. I know.
I'm afraid to say it out loud in case one of us happens to actually be.
But
the
if they
person.
can read our minds, they'll know it.
That's true. So,
Yeah, I did-
anyways, we do have a safe word we came up with a while back, so we're
Okay.
good with that. I have it in my memory. If anybody is in doubt of what it is, or
Okay.
if they know it. So basically, we're
Um,
gonna kill your character if you don't know that safe word, guys.
Oh no.
Get
Check
a
your
post-it
notes.
note and put it up on
Yeah,
your
check
Well,
computer.
here's the
freaking
thing,
notes.
though. Wouldn't the doppelganger also know it?
If they were here the whole time, that is true. That's absolutely
No, they read your
But
thoughts.
yeah.
Oh, they can. Can they read your
So
thoughts? Is
the
that
They
what
can,
only
it is?
like-
person that would not be suspect is someone who does not know that
Well,
word.
wait a minute. I'm questioning if they can really read your thoughts because I know the sheriff said that, but is that really true? Is that a real thing, or did he just make that shit up?
Wait,
Okay. I
what?
see John shaking his head. Okay. I wasn't saying anything about you, Chris. I just didn't know if his
Yeah,
character really
so
knew.
I would think that I would only sort of vaguely know the
Yeah.
surface details, like what they can do, but I don't like know the.
You traveled with them long enough
Yeah.
to understand, and also because of your kind of like formative psychic nature, due to you being a
Okay.
gem topaz dragon, you would understand that they have the ability to read thoughts.
But would I know like how deep those thoughts can go?
Yeah, so basically,
So I'm gonna
while
look up a changeling or
They-
a doppelganger.
you kind
I
of
was like,
you kind of know that they focus on a creature, they can kind of catch the surface thoughts of the creature and kind of understand like the target's mind. And what that grants them is advantage on any insight, insight, deception, intimidation, persuasion checks against a target they're focusing on, because they're basically reactionarily kind of focused on that individual. And if they have their concentration broken for any reason, as if they were concentrating on a spell, they would lose this psychic link. But you would also know that 3 feet of wood, dirt, stone, metal, 2 inches of metal, or thin sheets of lead will block the ability.
We all get Magneto helmets.
Yes. We will also look cool.
And Dust's,
Well-
Dust's natural form is just going to be Charles Xavier, I guess.
Or anytime we run into someone, we just bury our head in the ground like an ostrich.
I like that idea better.
So this fella, he can like read your personality and get a few little bits of memory, but if you got something deep in there, they don't immediately get that.
Why'd you post that at music, Kevin?
Are you had to ask? See, Zach is laughing not because it's of what it is, just because I posted it in music. See, you're welcome, Zach.
no one who's not us is gonna understand what that means.
No. It's like
The
music.
weirdest reaction to the video
Music.
previous.
What are you guys
Music.
talking about? Music.
Oh my god.
Hilarious. But yeah, continue. I don't want to halt your
Oh,
discourse.
sorry. All right, we're crazy. We're kind of crazy, especially me.
I
Okay.
think using the secret word might work. Just don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In regards to the bodies, the priestess thinks it would be ill-advised to give them back. She suggested we either hang them again or dispose of them. I will leave that to you, Summer, what you think is most appropriate.
Well, I don't really want to hang them again. Seems a little rash.
Yeah.
We can bury them, I guess.
I mean, I guess proper rites.
Those
I'm
have been
assuming-
done.
Okay.
I just haven't put them in the ground yet.
Okay. I would assume that there's like a cemetery and like potter's plots and stuff like that and whatnot. Um, so yeah, we could just do that. I feel that would be most respectful. Um, not sure why they were here to begin with, or if they were even here, or if they were brought here, but
I would say that the graveyard for Gateneath would probably be to the south. And then there's probably also plots on the mountain on Ermerag. It's more likely that you'll utilize the kind of low-lying graveyard if you're going to bury them proper.
yeah.
There's also the option of just tossing them off of a cliff into the ocean.
My brain had a thought, and I'm posting it in general chat
No,
Right.
rather than saying it out loud.
So Summer doesn't think it's a good idea. Summer thinks it's a good idea to bury him. I think I would
Yeah.
agree.
I'm sure that suggestion would excite Chad. Having created that NPC for this town.
Yes.
It's a valid option.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this feed him to the pigs?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? That was actually an option you guys were throwing out there?
No.
Feed him to
My
the
brain.
pigs.
There's no one in this room that would actually do that in character.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad. I thought you
No.
were serious.
I mean, Summer
No,
might.
no.
No, Summer thought that you should bury him. I think
Yeah,
that's a good
she's
idea.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Bury
it is
them.
the circle
I
of
mean-
life and death.
Yeah, but that seems a little extreme.
I mean, they are our enemies, but if we treat them horrible, then how can we expect them not to
they
be our
could come
enemies?
back
That's
to
all I can say.
haunt us, and we don't
Okay, yeah.
want
So we
that.
should definitely.
Bury. I think we should bury.
Or
them. That's
maybe
my
we
opinion.
do want them to come back and haunt, but we want them to haunt Dusk.
Oh,
Look at that cat! Look at that
That is
little
cute.
pink
Aw.
face!
I can't deal. He's rolling onto the keyboard and the mouse.
Oh
What's he-
no!
what's he
Piggy
saying?
face.
Wait a minute.
piggy
Did
face.
you plot? Did you put that thing into music, or did you put it somewhere else?
Face.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna
Inky
see.
baby.
Okay, it's not in freaking music.
It's in general. It's in general.
It
Yeah.
should be in general, rat general.
Yeah.
All right. Feed to hogs. Oh, nice. I can't believe
Sorry.
I thought of that. Feed to... No, I mean
Okay.
it's not a bad idea if you're trying to hide the body,
Yeah.
but I
Well, classic
can-
Robert Pinkton.
Discarding it. I
don't
mean, I don't know. I just
Okay, so we're gonna bury.
sorry. Yeah, we're
We'll
gonna
bury the
'em.
bodies. Was there anything on them to suggest their identity?
No, the only thing that they had on them were their clothing, which would suggest that they are messengers of the Denisotvan people. A part
They
of the
did
court.
indicate to the when they dropped off their blusas that they were part of the there on behalf of the court
Right.
or
Okay.
members of the court.
Yeah.
But we didn't
So,
get
yeah.
specific identities.
Definitely.
More or less messenger representatives of said
Right.
court. And then the note, which obviously wasn't an indicator of them, it would have been an indicator of Dusk.
The killer.
The handwriting, if you do put it to test, obviously you've come to the conclusion, so I'll just field it. It is very similar to the other note that was clearly written by Dusk. Yeah. So you bury some corpses during the night or the evening. And then
Yeah.
you ready yourselves for a trip up the mountain.
I would say return briefly to the festivities as they're winding down and just thank everyone for whatever. Make another appearance, smile and wave. Oh yes, festivities. Yes.
dance with Green Bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
dance with
your
valor.
date.
Yeah,
Hon-
dance with our
honestly,
dates.
Once Aspen saw Casey kind of doing the council thing and Evangeline started throwing everything off, Aspen left.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
not
no.
wait around. So Rilka did not wait around and left
Oh.
as well. So
I'm gonna be paying for that.
I am your new dungeon master. I desire
I
for.
like it. Your cat is so cute.
I will.
I
Aw.
desire ham.
Yes.
Ham!
Give me the ham. Roast
no
beef and
pointy
chimpkin
face.
also acceptable.
You can't eat ham. That'd be cannibalism.
Does not care.
Needle biggie.
Okay, so this stream has gotten too cute.
Game's totally
Very
off the
nice.
rails. We're just gonna
Yeah.
watch John poke his
Yeah.
cat in the face for the next 20 minutes.
Well, I may. I'll be completely honest with the system issue earlier and such. I was hoping to have more time, but I don't have it. So I'm at a point where I'm trying to kind of like stretch out what we have, so we end at
Yeah.
a point where next session I can do like the startup, what I plan to do at the end. So apologies, it's a pacing
you're
issue
good.
on my part due to unforeseen circumstance.
You're
But-
fine.
The main thing I'm going to elucidate here, and I think we'll probably end early just because I don't want to go 10 minutes into something narratively that I feel needs more attention. That said, burying, party wind down, all of that, but I want to stress, like, when you are preparing to go up the mountain, is there anything in particular that you think that you will need for the journey?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, supplies.
Just want to,
for-
as a reminder,
I mean, do we know how long it takes them to come down?
about 5 hours,
Okay.
6 hours.
So it'd probably just take a little bit longer to go back up.
Up a mountain.
Correct.
So it could be 10 hours or whatever to go back.
So we get mounts.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll need mounts.
Did we
we'll
find
need...
did we find those blusas?
No.
No, they're
Oh,
gone.
they were
They're
taken.
gone. Shucks.
Um.
I wanted to see an auto gnome on a blusa. That
Oh
would've been
Jesus.
Awesome.
Oh, that's a crazy talk.
Okay, so we'll need mounts. We'll probably need some sort of food if it's going to take longer than.
It's like a day trip.
I think the thing that I'm trying to stress, and I think it's being clearly missed, is you're going up a mountain. It's going
so
to
we
be a
need, like-
walk, but you're not going to have like climbing gear or anything. You don't need to climb or anything. It's going to be a path. But if you're all looking at the background picture of your character, I kind of put a hint as to what you'll need. kind of-
So we're gonna
Cold
need some
weather.
coat,
Oh, yeah.
some blankets.
I don't need shit. I don't know
maybe
what you
some-
guys are talking
Yeah.
about.
You have your scarf. You're perfectly warm.
Yeah.
Casey's fine. Can't imagine heat or
And the
cold is
hat.
gonna affect
I'm
the auto
literally
much.
covered in like 1,000 pounds of fur.
But are you cold resistant to the cold?
No.
I'm cold blooded.
Tibetan Mastiff.
Actually, I
I
don't
can
know if
see.
I'm cold blooded.
Fair, but
So the autognome will, surprisingly, actually need some form of like cloak or garment to kind of keep them from freezing.
Okay,
to
yeah.
death.
So we'll need.
yeah,
Freezing to death
Cloaks
is
and-
still an option for the robot.
like if it gets too cold for your car.
Yeah, I don't think they have any
Okay.
resistances or anything to
Um,
the temp.
Okay, so we'll need cold weather gear. Potentially stuff to start a fire. Whatever. I don't
Maybe
freaking
an
know.
instrument for Dabe to play so we could be entertained as we're going up the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, obviously on the side, I will field some questions to Jijo regarding, what they plan on kind of doing.
Hey,
Joe
when you
said,
tell-
even though it doesn't need climbing and there's a path, Joe says climb it anyway. The path less traveled.
oh my god.
Was that
Thank you.
Joe
Chris.
Orbic.
Joe Orbic?
Yeah, but then the mountain disappears and turns into sand, and then appears over here not wearing its armor anymore.
Oh my god.
That joke was mainly for Joe. But anywho, to kind of wind it down to the end, once you kind of get to rest and have all of your heavy weather clothing. Again, these are not purchases that need to be made. You own the town. You acquire the things that you need ready for the next morning. Last question, very last question. Are there any NPCs that you wish to take with you? Any guards or anything to that effect? Any lieutenants? Any other representatives of the town?
The abbess is bringing
You'll be leaving
all of her
with
guard.
yeah, you'll be leaving with the abbess. So
Yes.
her entire night retinue that she brought with her down will be present.
But in theory, we wouldn't have that coming back.
Correct.
Right, right. Maybe you should bring like a lieutenant and a couple guards. I mean, you don't want to bring too
Yeah.
much. And who's going to be in charge of the town when you're gone?
Rook.
We
Look,
should think of that.
I was gonna
Okay,
say
well,
that.
Okay. No, but I mean, who's going to be in charge of the town? As in, like, is there a backup to our, to our lady, our lady ruler?
no.
Not really.
There wouldn't be. However, the closest proximity to the backup would be Casey, but Casey is obviously going to be going up as well.
Right.
The town's rulership would probably be mitigated for the time being, just to the guild masters, and they'd be aware that they kind of have to do their own thing for a time.
Okay. Just a interesting question. If something happens when we're up there, what they do?
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Or
if I die, my little brother becomes
sorry, I
ruler.
apologize. I mistook myself entirely. I started saying shit like I was the one who was making this town. That's not true. Evangeline, in your stead, when you leave, who is the ruler and present? Sorry.
So
Ooh,
Bless you.
Sorry, I thought I muted myself. I am so sorry.
God damn it, Zach.
Bless you.
I missed the mute button. I tried so hard.
Oh my god, no! I've been there where you're like panicking to find the mute button.
Yeah.
Auto gnome got a cold.
Yeah.
Aw. Okay, so I
Oh,
feel like there would be some sort of like apart from the council, like
Like an advisor or something besides
like
Dabe?
not necessarily like an advisor, but like someone that's like in charge of the household kind of type thing,
Oh.
like that manages those affairs. I
Kind
don't
of like
feel
a
like
butler or something? A butler would do that, manages your household, right?
um
I mean, I don't know. I'm asking John if it like
Or is
Or
it like
the
a
housekeeper.
I'm not in charge of this. She's
I
making
know,
it
but
up.
okay, but like I'm just trying to find the right words for it.
Sure.
Like
So we do have your mentor type, but that's
yeah.
like let me double check here. Looking at your
Helga Hagreep. What the hell?
yeah, Helga.
Where's my page with the stuff? Tutor. Janard. Oh, Heloisa.
oh, there's the cat.
So I feel like she was probably part of my mother's household
Okay.
as well. So I feel like it would kind of be a combination of
Like housekeeper / kind of like assistant.
yeah, like a personal assistant type thing. So she
Lady
would
in
probably
waiting.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of.
Perfect.
And then
That makes sense.
You
yeah.
said her
so like
name's
she was
Helga?
probably no, her name is Heloisa.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to spell that.
HEL.
No. Type it out. I can't do it.
Listen. Okay. But essentially it would be kind of like a combination of like her and then my little brother who is 10 years old, like who genuinely has probably zero ability to actually rule, but like he's the heir.
Gotcha. Yeah, again, if something were to happen to you, ill toward guy would be the okay, cool. Okay. So with that said, everything being left in kind of a space where you're ready to go, you would absolutely be more than happy to travel up the mountain the next day, and you'll be leaving with the retinue of the abbess, making your way to the monastery of Urmarag after the untimely deaths of 2 Denisatvan messengers. The town of Gateneath will obviously in future days be tested. Not sure to say what the next test will be, but the hope will be that you'll be dealing with this bandit group, these rising suns, and hopefully for some, putting an end to matters that have plagued you for so long. Well, thank you for watching those that did, and we will see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the new folks. And we'll continue from there. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.